Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios, with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studios for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. Right now until November 1st, they have the Autumn Kitchen Suite Savings Event. $200 instant savings when you purchase 2 qualifying Whirlpool or Maytag appliances. $300 instant savings when you purchase any 3 Whirlpool or Maytag appliances. 25 Halifax Street, Moncton, 506-858-5111. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, and again, ready for Rocket Sports, Mr. Jeremy Boucher, buddy. What you drinking?
Well, this is just your basic PSL, iced.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because as I stated a couple of weeks ago on the show, did you know an iced pumpkin spice latte has 400 calories less than the hot option?
I remember you saying that, but I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm going a little healthy here. Good option. Very good. I like it.
You fit right in this household.
Yes.
We have had, and by we, I mean my wife and my daughter have had so much pumpkin in this house. They finished off a pumpkin pie for our Thanksgiving. We've got pumpkin spice whipped cream that I showed you at its.
Oh my God. You should bring that down.
Superstore. Yeah. Haley had a couple PSLs. And fun fact, dear Starbucks, hashtag not a sponsor. If you're charging ladies, men, whomever, $30 for your fancy cup, fill it with the stuff. I said, hey, we went into Superstore yesterday to shop because we had Thanksgiving because she was here, so this is our Thanksgiving. And she's like, oh, Starbucks cup. So she goes over, she looks. She's like, oh, yeah, I was like, do they have one you want? She's like, yeah, they got ones I can't get. I'm like, okay, well, here's my debit card. Go buy one. Are you sure? Yeah. Do you want anything? Absolutely not. Layla, do you want anything? Yeah, give me whatever. She ordered 7 different words that I don't understand. She comes back, holding the cup in one hand, holding Layla's drink, holding her drink like this. I looked at Layla, I'm like, what the shit? So she gives Layla her drink. I'm like, how close to $50 was that? 45. No, I was like, how close to $40 was that? I was like, 50. I'm like, how much was the cup? $30. And they don't fill it?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, no. Like, I know that consumerism and blah, 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 but come on. $30 for the cup and they don't even fill it with... Like, you don't have to fill the whole thing because that's not... Like, you only have certain sizes, but put something in it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. That's why
It's my Starbucks rant for the year.
Well, it's acceptable. I'll still buy it. I'll keep...
Yeah.
We're only about a month away from peppermint mocha season, or candy cane hot chocolate season. So I'll keep bringing the drinks, and we'll keep bringing the show. Yeah,
absolutely. How's your Thanksgiving plans coming? As everybody else is into this week.
That's true. Yeah,
we had ours. Just a nice
shout
simple
out
dinner.
to Turkey Day. No, right. Thanksgiving is coming up this weekend, and so we've got. The wife and I are going to be hosting our first ever Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Now that we have a much larger cuisine. So we're going to have probably, as much as I love you, Adam, we've already got on Saturday it was 10 people. On Saturday it was 10 people.
Yeah.
It is now up to 15.
Holy jeez.
So it is growing by the day.
For those just joining us, Jeremy no longer lives in the condo.
Yes.
He has a house. That's why he's got about 15 people.
We have a cuisine now.
Yeah.
And, so we're going to have 15 people, which is going to be absolutely crazy. I went to Superstore, bought a 20-pound turkey on Saturday. So there's about 1.1 pounds of meat per person.
Jeez.
$45.
For those listening on Spotify or wherever you find your podcasts, you won't see this, but for those watching on YouTube, thank you. We're both in our Blue Jay hats.
Yes,
we are. Well, you more than me, and Layla are ready for the playoffs. Like I said, I told you, and I was telling her their easiest road to the ALCS is to be the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. They back their way into the 6th seed. And just like I told you off air, and I don't know how many other people think this, I don't understand the championship celebration for making the postseason. I've never understood it. It's not a Blue Jays thing. It's not a Toronto thing. It's every MLB team. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. We got so drunk. We made the playoffs. How'd you do? We lost. We got swept. Last year, they got swept. Like, they make this have this big party in the dressing room. They get swept. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the NHL and they don't want to touch a trophy. Someone tweeted, like, don't touch a trophy, but the MLB has a huge party. Like, that's just one of the sports celebrations I have never understood.
You're right. And if you're like me, you go through your Facebook on this days every day to see what some of your statuses were. And October 2nd, 2016, I retweeted the Blue Jays. I shouldn't say it was shared it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Blue Jays and said, "Let's get drunk after clinching a spot in the wild card game."
So you're on board.
That's another one of those things I don't understand. Like, you literally almost effed yourself.
Yeah.
By losing 4 of the final 5 games. No, that's incorrect.
2 of the last 3.
2 of the last 3.
Yeah.
And had to get help to get into the playoffs, and you celebrate with champagne in the clubhouse after a loss?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's dumb. It's stupid. Grab your gear, get on the flight, get to Minnesota. And that
was even the funnier part, is they lost the game and then went and celebrated. Like, maybe I would have been a little bit more okay, and I don't care what teams do. They always do it, but a little bit more okay and a little less ridiculous had they stayed at the Rogers Center, watched the Seattle-Texas game to find out Seattle lost, and then have your party.
Well,
you don't have the Sportsnet media there. You don't have everything.
Yeah.
But at least you're partying because you're in. You got in. The next day is, all right, let's stay healthy. Let's play some baseball. And now it's a business trip instead of getting smashed.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the series? How do you feel about the wild card?
Okay, so people will say that Minnesota's the more favorable matchup over Tampa Bay. Yeah, I'll have to agree. Mm-hmm. And I think I can speak for all Blue Jays fans when I say that this season was underwhelming. Their pitching was really good, but their hitting was dog shirt. Yeah. And, the players who you expected to have a big season, like Guerrero, just did not have a big season. He's 3 years ago, you see him step up to the plate, and it's almost you expect him to hit a home run. But then this year, you almost expect him to strike out.
Or hit a ground ball.
Yeah, like that's, or into a double play, that's just the kind of season it was. And I think they got, to make it into the playoffs, they got lucky. Because another loss, and they another loss along the way somewhere, they're probably out.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing about playoffs. I know it's cliche. Anything can happen once the season's over, and I think this team is I think they've got a really good shot based on where they're going in and where they're at right now. By the time this show comes out, hopefully they have a 1-0 series lead, and because with the game on Thursday night and first pitch of Game 3, if necessary, at 5:35. Can the Wildcats put the game on the Jumbotron? Probably not. So there will be I think there will be a lot of people somewhat distracted if there is in fact a Game 3 when Victoriaville comes down.
What worries me about the Blue, I think the pitching is going to be fine. I assume it's Gosman going in Game 1 because that's what Dan and Buck were talking about yesterday.
It's confirmed.
The pitching's fine. Bullpen should be fine. What worries me about the Blue Jays is the hitting, in the aspect of everything's analytics now. They're so worried about what they need to do. I don't know if the team has the small ball in them to, if they get a run on a single with none out, bunt the guy over to second instead of trying to hit a 2-run home run or putting it somewhere. Like, do they have the when the games get tight in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, do they got that small ball mentality?
Yeah.
And maybe not getting into the playoffs with AL record-breaking home runs is a good thing for them because they had to do it a different way. But, you look at Vladdy, and this isn't a Blue Jays podcast by any means, but I've watched more games now since I went and since I've talked about them with you. But there was one on the road. He wasn't playing because he was injured. They got the bases loaded, and they brought him in.
Yeah. Well,
like, he's not gonna hit a grand slam like he used to. He might, but what does he do? Grounds in and lags out a single to get in. But still, it's just like he's just not doing what he does. And maybe this will be the playoff run for him. Maybe every team has that magical one run, and maybe
that's the hope. I don't think you'll come close to a 2015 team.
No.
But
it'd be interesting to see how many Blue Jays fans travel though from Toronto to Minnesota.
Yeah. I was looking for the hell of it. I was looking at flights today from Toronto to Minneapolis, and there's some pickings. There's not much left.
Oh, really?
So it sounds like or looks like there could be a pretty good contingent of Blue Jays fans. So bring the blue.
Here we go. Yeah. All right. Well, this is, like I said, this isn't a Blue Jays podcast. This is a Wildcast podcast. Talk about the Wildcats. So as always, don't forget, follow us on all our social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, and of course, like and subscribe here on YouTube. And don't forget to click the little bell to be notified because our post-game shows are now on YouTube. So quick question. We'll go quickly. Aside from the news we're about to talk about in a few minutes, what's your on-ice surprise the first couple of weeks into the season? And I'm going to go with the Valdor Fourier being 4-0.
You took my answer right out of my, yeah.
I figured that might be your answer as well. But yeah, Valdor being 4-0 and 19 goals for, 15 goals against. Now, 3 of the 4 wins have been at home, so that does help. But in that division, I don't think a lot of people, I think people thought Rouyn-Noranda would already be 4-0 and outscoring everyone, and they're giving up more goals than they're scoring. So I think Valdor being 4-0 is a surprise for me.
Yeah, I was going to go with Valdor, but I'll also go with that division and say Rouyn-Noranda. Yeah. 2 shootout losses, and, they'll get 1 win in 4 games when they're supposed to be, one of the top teams. If there's another one, I'd have to go with the current league's leading scorer. I didn't think the league's leading scorer after 4 games would be from Sherbrooke, of all teams. Maverick Lachance.
Oh, yeah.
That was another surprise. Didn't expect that at all because Sherbrooke is...
Is that what the website says?
That's what the app says, yeah.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong here. Oh, look, score. Oh, sorry. League's leader in goals.
Goals, yeah. He's
My
got
bad.
5 goals. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 5 goals in 4 games. So
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not. No, you're right. Not bad at all.
I mean, he's 4th in scoring with 6,
but yeah, Olivier Dubois of Sherbrooke is tied for first for scoring.
Maxime Courcelle from Rimouski, and
also
Thomas
who the hell is
Soroka.
Olivier Dubois?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, and that's where when we do this show at the middle of March, these points are going to be your valuable points that, Valdor getting off to this kind of a start, we don't need to worry about them losing anymore. So they're not worried about it either. And these are the points you put in the bank, catching teams by surprise because no one really has tape on anyone. And this is where it comes back to either haunt you or benefit you when we get into March.
Yeah, and our buddy Barrington, Andrew Barrington, messaged me. He's like, "Is Valdor for real?" I said, "No, Valdor is for."
I love that. All right, let's. I guess we should probably get to some news, eh?
Yes, there's a big one to talk about.
Big one, yeah.
News and notes from around the queue.
All right, so the Moncton Wildcats have officially announced that they are not putting in a bid for the 2025 Memorial Cup. It will be between Shawinigan and Rimouski. This was a 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Lala set bomb. Actually, 12 o'clock, he said that the Wildcats are no longer in the running. Battle, therefore, seems to be between Shawinigan and Rimouski, like I just said. So the Wildcats come out with a statement. while the organization was deeply committed to bidding for the 2020 Memorial Cup, we have made the decision to forego submitting a bid at this time, realizing that major junior hockey team in the province of Quebec has not hosted the national championship in the past 10 years. Fun fact, I'll get to that in a minute. The chance of winning the competitive bid is very unlikely. We recognize the Canadian Hockey League wants to ensure various member provinces get to host a Memorial Cup, but we know that our organization, committee, and province would have submitted an outstanding bid. We're disappointed we won't have the chance to bring the 2025 championship to our fans and our community. Without a reasonable chance of being selected, the Moncton Wildcats cannot commit the time, effort, and resources to prepare this extensive bid, and which, as I find when you look back at the hosts of the Memorial Cup since 2007, Hull, Halifax, Quebec, Moncton, Rimouski, Shawinigan, Quebec, Halifax, St. John, and now either Shawinigan or Rimouski. So it was fine from 2009 to 2015 for 3 Quebec teams to host, but it's not all right for 3 maritime teams to host. As much as this sucks, I blame Regina.
Experience for Regina.
Yeah. I mean, they got the 100th Memorial Cup when it was supposed to be in Quebec, or when it was supposed to be in the Q, which that probably would have been St. John there, and then Halifax would have had it, and then when St. John actually hosted it 2 years ago, Quebec would have had that. We'd have been fine. I guess, sure, but I mean, if you're the commissioner and you're putting on an event of this magnitude for the country to see, nothing against Shawinigan because they put on a heck of a Memorial Cup in 2012. Jeremy was there. I watched it on TV. I don't remember the 2009 one, but you have to look at your rosters around the league. And Moncton's going to have a great roster next year. We have the facility. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't have to be we have to get one in Quebec. Because now you've pigeonholed yourself into 2 in a row because, well, Bathurst might be on a cycle in 2028. Cape Breton, they're on kind of the same cycle as us. St. John isn't going to get another one. So now you're going to get 2 in a row in Quebec. Congratulations. That's maybe what they were thinking, is if we take this one, we get 2 in a row in Quebec now.
Yeah. This press release, statement, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I've been following this team long enough to know that that's not. It's not Wildcat wording. To me, it almost feels like there was. While I understand the league probably said, "Look, don't bid on it. We're going to choose a Quebec team." So, but really, like the great Michael Scott, didn't he say once, "You miss 100% of the shots"? You know, it's obviously a Michael Jordan quote, but Michael Jordan quote, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but Michael Scott from The Office.
It's more known by Michael Scott than Michael.
No, that's true. I think this organization has the financial ability to put in a bid, and if they don't get it, they don't get it. I mean, we put in a bid in 2000, and when did Halifax, was it
2018?
2018? Was it 2018?
Yeah, because it was the first year I moved here.
Right.
It was the first season I moved here. I was like, oh, bonus, I move here and we might get a Memorial Cup.
So essentially that's...
So it was the 2018-2019 season.
So we bid for that one, we lost it, and we were going to bid for this one, and basically we're told you lost it.
Yeah.
So it's disappointing. Kevin Barrett's article has a little more information compared to the
I can't bring it up.
Team statement. Basically saying that Mr. Irving received a phone call from the Canadian Hockey League committee in charge of site selection, indicating that teams from Quebec would have the inside track, in large part because the CHL Championship has not been staged in that province since May 2015, when Quebec served as hosts. He goes on to say in...
Where's that our problem? That the cycles...
And I quote, "I was given notice that because it is being out of the province for 10 years, it would not be favorable for us, and that would not be in our interest because we would go through all the exercise and put all the money, time, and effort and come up short." So when I heard that, I said, well, with the chances of us not being able to host it, then we wouldn't put the time and effort into it. He goes on to say that they're sincere in their intent to host and that they're going to put their best effort forward. So if you're, and I don't think I'm not knocking the Wildcats here. If your intention was to put your best foot forward, why not do it? You know, that's I think where I'm coming from, and where I'm struggling from is, okay, if you lose it, you lose it. If you won't know if the site committee could say that, but Rimouski and Shawinigan could be a complete dud, and then who are you going to look at? You've got nothing. Are you going to call up Mr. Irving and be like, look, you want this or not? You know, I think it was if I don't know how much it costs to put in a bin for the Memorial Cup. I know it's, we like to say that our organization is financially
big market team.
It's financially stable, and I feel like we'd be able to afford the bidding process, and it's disappointing because you're right. Like, we have the team right now on paper that looks like we could do some damage next year, but now we just have to. I just hope this doesn't change the direction. I really hope the team still.
What is the direction? Before I ask you that, sorry, this is ridiculous. On the basis that every major league in the Canadian Hockey League has teams in other provinces, the OHL and the WHL have teams in the United States. Mm-hmm. I don't think that teams in the WHL are getting the call, like, I don't know, Saskatoon, yeah, we don't want you to put a bid in. We need it to go to the United States. Mm-hmm. The last time it was in the United States, in that market, was Seattle in 1992. Mm-hmm. The last time it was in the OHL in the States, I can't even find it, but it's going to Saginaw this year. Like, is this happening in other leagues? Sorry, Spokane had it. So 92, 98. Spokane in 1998 was the last American team. Is the commissioner there calling them saying, we don't put a bid in Red Deer, don't put a bid in Saskatoon, we need it to go to the United States? No. Mm-hmm. You build it on a cycle, and if the maritime teams have the cycles at the time, great. I'm sure that Quebec wanted to have the Memorial Cup 2 years ago, and I'm sure that Gatineau wanted it in their brand new building, but it just didn't line up.
Yeah.
And that's the most ridiculous thing is now we're being penalized because our cycle A was taken away by COVID, and B was taken away because it's not going to Quebec. Mm-hmm. We didn't have it for 3 years. So I don't want to get too angry, but so what's the direction now? Do you pivot? Do you go all in this year? Do you pivot and go all in next year and
So,
kick in the front door in Quebec or Rimouski or Shawinigan?
So, I mean, I think
that's the question I got a lot is what's the direction now? Is it all in now?
Yeah. So I don't like this whole all in idea. I think with the direction the team looks to be taking next season, I think we should focus on next season. Mm-hmm. Are we going to get Ethan Gauthier now? No, I don't think so. I think Ethan Gauthier will play the year in Drummondville and then be traded to whoever hosts the Memorial Cup.
Yep.
Right? And like that seems pretty obvious. And you can probably make the same argument for...
Unless you're Mr. Irving and he's like, I don't care what it costs.
Yeah.
Go get that guy. go get that guy, and we're kicking in that front door, and we're embarrassing the Quebec team, whoever hosts, right? And he might do that.
He might, but I mean,
he's on the phone to Richie.
I
don't
think
care the cost.
I think we've been told on a couple of occasions that Irving doesn't touch the hockey operations side of things anymore.
No, but he might give it a little call, like, hey,
but look, it's
go get what you need to get.
Yeah, sure, but I mean,
this kills the Yzerman.
It does.
It kills my theory that he was coming.
He was never coming, you know.
No, but I had a small theory.
We can make the jokes on the Twitter about how he decommitted from Minnesota, and there was that slight chance, and
how if the Flames are terrible and he gets drafted there, and then we're hosting Memorial Cup. Yeah,
no, it's just there's no.
But
look, I've said before, if he ever wears a Wildcats jersey other than the one that he got, has even worn, probably hasn't put it on. But you know, it's. Do I think it changes the direction of the team? No, I think it's. I still think they should focus on next year. By that time, you know, they'll still have some assets to be able to make some moves to contend. You know, there's if Rimouski bids, you know, they're going to be all in. They're going to go get the big fish. Well, you know what? Sometimes big fish don't win championships, and we've seen that, right? Go get.
We're around it with draft and development.
Yeah, draft and development. Make the trades that makes your team better. Don't go and get all the superstars. Don't load up, because that's just going to build. It's going to not be good for team
chemistry.
Yeah, you know, it just make the trades that's going to make your team better, and because we will be very good. You know, we're going to be good this season. We're going to be very good next season. I don't want this team to go off track. If a Memorial Cup host team steps up and says, we want this guy on your team and we will pay X amount for him and it's too good to pass up, sure.
Make it happen.
Do it. But it has to be an astronomical price. With that being said, the next opportunity would be 2028.
Nowhere near a cycle.
Which wouldn't be really cycle.
Now that cycle, if they don't quote unquote go all in next year and they just kind of make the right moves and go in with a team that's got chemistry, you might still have something there. But that's where you had said 2030 is probably the next time we're on the cycle.
Yeah, 2031.
Yeah.
And I jokingly said this to you in Chris earlier today, I think it was. I hope Richie was watching the Quebec Pee Wee tournament because, you know, there's, I think I was showing, there's like 2 players from Quebec. There's that one that I think he had 31 points in 5 games or something foolish like that. But no, that's honestly like.
But there's no worry of a pivot and building around Denway and Carrier, moving some assets out now and build for 2028. Because that'll be their 20-year-old year. Like we're not gonna.
Well, they're not gonna be playing in the league as 20-year-olds. So that's You're pretty much.
I meant for to get them back if we host to have that chance to get them back like McKenna.
They won't. I mean, Desnoyers, if Elliot Desnoyers didn't play in the league at 20, Caleb Desnoyers will not play in the league at 20, right? If Zach LaRue is not playing in the league at 20, Sean Carrier won't be playing in the league at 20.
Yeah.
It's that. So you're pretty much, let's do it next year and make the right trades, and then you're still good. Like you can still be good the following year as well, and the following year. You know, like there's
no point having.
Who cares if you win a championship? Who cares if it's in the queue? Win a championship.
Yeah.
Oh right? Yeah. Just win a championship.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
One way to bring the Memorial Cup.
I don't care if it's in our own backyard or in Saginaw or in Calgary. You know, I'm just thinking of names. Just win a championship, and that should be the focus. Win a championship. Get the Gilles Courteau trophy first, and then get your Memorial Cup.
Yep.
I don't care if it's this year or next year, the year after that. Just get it. I don't care where the tournament is.
No. No, that's the thing. Like having it at home, just
it's a bonus.
It's a bonus, but it also adds pressure because you're the host all year. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's scrutinizing your moves. You get to the playoffs, and if you're out in round, if you only win 2 games in the playoffs, and then you're hosting a Memorial Cup, or you win a round or 2 rounds, that puts the added pressure of, you were eliminated. Now you got to ramp it back up, and that can sometimes be a problem. But yeah, you picked them to go to the final this year. Depending on the moves, that's a team with chemistry that could have a trip to Saginaw, or have a trip to Shawinigan or Rimouski, one of the two. It just blame Regina. That's all we're saying. And honestly, when I got home from apple picking today, I was like, I can't wait to read the Facebook comments, because usually those are the most level-headed people. They actually were. They were like, yeah, I get it. It makes sense. It sucks for us, but I get it. Like, I was shocked at the amount of, because usually when moves happen with the Wildcats, that's the place to go when you really want I've gone to one game in my life take, and this team should keep their best players forever. But it was actually pretty level-headed. I was pretty surprised.
Good.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What else we got for news? Oh, Sam Savoie. Riverview was injured Saturday, I think, or Sunday, in a preseason game. Likely out 4 to 6 months. Interesting to see what his trade market is now. I mean,
there is going to be conditions.
Yeah,
there will be conditions on that one for sure.
Because he'll be back. He should be back this season, but you might only get 2 months of him at the back end of the season in a playoff run, and he's a guy that can make an impact in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see what his trade likely is looking now, and you might even get him back next year, more than likely because of the injury.
Possibly. It really depends on how the development goes, and but yeah, that was a broken femur. That's
that looked like it hurt right away.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that can keep you out for a while. It's easily 3 months minimum, which is going to take you into late December. Early January. Like, that's going to mess up his World Junior chances, which sucks, because I think he could have played like a really good third line, fourth line role on Team Canada, and that sucks. It sucks for him. It sucks for Gatineau, but I mean, he's still going to get traded. But like I said, there's going to be some conditions on that for sure. Price
might not be what it originally was, and the rosters were revealed for the first phase of the 2024 QMJHL Cup. I'm not going to go through
already.
I'm not going to go through the rosters, but it's in Dieppe this year, this weekend. So Team Gerard Gallant from PEI, New Brunswick Hopefuls will be the Team Luc Bourdon, Nova Scotia Team Cam Russell, and Labrador Prospects will be the Team Zach O'Brien. Your QMJHL Team of the Week, Cole Burbage. Cole Burbage from the Eagles, 2 goals, 3 assists in 2 games. Israel Minsicum from Sherbrooke, 2 goals, 3 assists in 2 games. Louis Levesque, 2 goals, 3 assists in 2 games. Thomas Sabolka from Val d'Or, 2 goals, 3 assists in 2 games. Benjamin Vigneault from Victoriaville, who we'll see this week, 1 goal, 2 assists in 2 games. And Matthias Rousseau, 2-0-0 with a .97 goals against average or save percentage, and a 1.0 goals against average. And your player of the week was Cole Burbage from Cape Breton, 2 goals in 3 assists. And that's pretty much it for the news notes. Most of it was centered around, thankfully, the news that came out today, because there's nothing worse than putting this show together and then they're like, oh, news on Tuesday. All right, let's get into the Weekly Rewind.
Weekly Rewind.
So the Wildcats go 1-1 over the weekend, bringing the record to 3-1 on the season. They completed a victorious road trip to begin the season with a 6-2 victory over the Islanders. And then the home opener was a 3-1 loss. So we'll get to the game against the Islanders first. I didn't exactly watch it because I was in Bactouche at the Light Festival. I can't remember what the name is. I should have wrote it down. But it was the night of first. Caleb Denvilliers, the sump pump, Glass, almost Carrier. But, I mean, you watched some of it.
Yeah.
Just looking at the score things, I was like, wow, they got outshot again. 38-33. I don't really know much about it other than they were down and they scored 5 straight to take the victory.
Yeah, so they didn't start out very good. The Matthew Butler goal, not sure what they were doing there. He was all alone in front of the net. I'm not sure who was supposed to be covering him. So once I saw that, I immediately thought of those memes from like 8 years ago where it's like, here come the Oilers. And then we've got like
the decade of darkness. Yeah, that was a good time.
There's
Still
like
a hashtag,
one person
actually.
in front of the net. Well, there's like 5 defenders on one player.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here come the Oilers. And then,
Fun fact, it's still a hashtag.
Yeah. No, I was once I saw that, I was like, oh, this is gonna happen again, isn't it? Bad start. It was just one of those. It didn't have their legs, and took them a while to get going. And I think this is the game where I think Johan Loshing's speed essentially just took over, if you want to put it that way. I mean, he was in on some of the very important goals of this game, and he was the obvious probably the best player on the ice, and he was absolutely everywhere. He took over the game, and Jacob Steinman just made 5 Bell saves, 10 Bell saves again, like he's been doing since the first game in Cape Breton.
Was it one of those Islander games where they just wore us down in the first period, and eventually that system just kind of ran out of steam?
It was one of those things where there was too many turnovers, and it just seemed like Moncton capitalized more on turnovers than Charlottetown did. Like they were bailed out by Steinman. It was just the same thing that happened in Cape Breton. Bailed out by Steinman. Here's big save here, big save there.
That might be a hashtag.
What's
hashtag bailed out by Steinman.
Bailed out. Yeah. No, but honestly, like there were some saves that I was like, whoa! It took the eyes out of my head, and it's really, it was the Lotion show and the Steinman show that was a key part of this game. And you're right on the first. The Gloss goal was a absolute rocket. I've never seen a shot so fast in my life. You got to go see that highlight.
Faster than a piss missile?
Oh the Gloss goal.
Yeah.
Oh man, go look at it. Like what a shot this was. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap! What did he do? I didn't know that guy had that sort of a shot behind his on his stick. I was amazed. Once you look at the highlights, you'll know what I mean. But wow, I was impressed. Carrier, I thought he scored. I think he even thought he scored, but it was given to Forte Gendron. I think it was just one of those kind of one of those knuckle puck ones where it was I hate how they do that on the Q site. Stupid volume.
Yeah.
And no, it was a shot from the point, and it bounced off a couple bodies, and Carrier celebrated as if he got the goal.
I saw that highlight, and I was like, nice. Yeah. We got 4 guys with first goal, or 5 guys with first goals.
Yeah. And so I want you to see his goal, because it was quite the.
Which one was it?
I'm not sure it was the.
As you're watching on YouTube, we were trying to find the goal.
It might have been the fourth or 5th Moncton goal. So you're probably later into the highlight pack here.
14:04 in the second.
Yeah, but a lot of firsts. Dennoyer's first. I want you to see this highlight because it was absolutely funny, right there. Oh, you have to rewind it a little bit to see this ripper, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't ask you how. They ask you how many.
I was hoping you had it up there a little faster just so you could understand where I was. But wow, yeah. What a rocket!
Yeah. No. They don't ask you how. They ask you how many. Oh.
Yeah. So
apparently I can't read your poker face. You got a really good poker face.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. But no, in all honesty, this was the Lotion show and the Steinman show, and that's the recap. If it wasn't for those two, Moncton probably loses. And
we're 2-2.
Yeah.
And then we get the home opener, like I said. It was 3-1 loss. Could have been 5 or 6. Hashtag bailed out by Steinman. But it was as flat as you said the Eagles were last week. Mm-hmm. The Wildcats were just as flat till about 5 minutes into the third period. And you can't play against top-end teams and play 15 minutes of a 60-minute hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was talking to a couple people before interviewing Loshing, you play Cape Bretons, you play Bathurst, you play Cape Breton again, the Islanders. Maybe they were lulled into a sense of security on what this team was. And from my home opener thoughts, like, I was underwhelmed by the app. I was underwhelmed by the video, and the intros were fine. They were good. I like those. Fireworks, love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the lights go out, the crowd is jacked, and the Melatonins play a 7-minute song. Yeah. Meh. Like, I liked the band idea, but it just, I think it was the wrong band for the wrong time, and it kind of sucked the air out of the building, and the Wildcats just were not ready to go. And I mean, the first goal by Louis Levesque, at that point, I think the shots were 7-5 for Moncton, and I have no idea how. Like, it looked like we got 2 saves. The score easily could have been 5-0 in that first period, if not for Steinman with 10 bell after 10 bell after 10 bell saves, when I don't know if it was the ice or the Wildcats just didn't have it, but it just wasn't a good hockey game for a stretch of 45 of the 60 minutes.
No, you're right. It was a pretty dismal, I guess, performance, you want to put it that way, for a home opener. Mm-hmm. But home openers always get nerves, and
I think we calculated how many we had last year. I forgot to ask you to look that up. I think Denise sent it to you.
Yeah, I think I lost track of the home opener stat, but again, another loss. But it took them 50 minutes to find their legs. They needed a 16-year-old to score a goal before they got any sort of jump in their step. And after that, I mean, they had that late power play, but it ended up being the empty netter, and it kind of sucked. And it was other than that, it was a good game. There was a lot of big saves. The crowd was into it. It was really nice to hear, which sucks because they're going to go there Thursday, and you're probably not even going to get 3,000 people. So it's going to be a drastic.
Especially if the Blue Jays are playing Game 3.
Yeah, that's true. But no, you saw, like, you can tell Matthew Cataford's going to have a huge year. That was one of the best games I've ever seen him play. He's going to have a massive year for Halifax, and Rousseau will be one of the best goalies in the league. I was asked if after the performance if I wanted to change my prediction. Yeah, no. Was Halifax good? Yes. Did Moncton play their best game? No. Halifax played a perfect road game.
Yeah.
And Moncton had no answer to it.
And how many times did the puck get in the crease and the Wildcats couldn't find it, or Rousseau was able to make the save? And I said this last week, like, we could come into the home opener 3-0 and lay the egg against Halifax because it's Halifax. And you said they're getting better. This isn't going to be the Junior B roster that played the weekend before. I mean, they're going to get Rousseau back. We weren't sure on Cataford because he had the injury.
Yeah.
Vidicek was out, so we can go toe-to-toe with them. And, you had said in one of our preseason shows, like, how far back are they going to be if they don't get Dume till after the World Juniors? Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to be that far back from us. They might even be leading the division because they went to Bathurst the next night and pumped them 9-1.
Yeah.
So it's just, we knew Halifax was going to be better. It sucks losing them. I think it's 9 of the last 10 we've lost to them other than game 1. And it's just the bakery was open. Mm-hmm. The bakery was open, and, we talk about guys on the team and, 24. In how many games he's played in his career, 70, 80 games, he's had 2 bad ones. 72 games, 76 games in his career. What a guess. He's had 2 bad games. One last year in his 8th game in Victoriaville or in Shawinigan, and this one wasn't his best. And like I said, when we don't mention him, he's doing great things. And he had a tough night. And honestly one of our assistant captains. You can't. The Wildcats score. The building is excited. The goal song is amazing. We're getting a power play, and I know that Morvik, from what I heard on the post-game show on YouTube, is he punched Carrier in the face. So Trenholm sticks up for him, which is fine. That's what a 20-year-old teammate should do for a first-round pick. Maybe put that one in the back pocket and save that for the next game, because you know they get a power play there. Who knows what happens because the building's going. But to even that up, and Morvik, he knows you're not going to fight, so he's not going to drop the gloves. He's going to get away with a face wash, and you take him down. I think that sucked a lot of the momentum out of it too. But it just that kind of penalty can't happen from a leader.
No, you're right. I was dumb. I was stupid. I was one of those dumb hockey moments that I get sometimes where I thought it was going to be a double minor on Morvik and a single and just a minor on Trenholm, which would give us a power play. But
I didn't
even realize it. Trenholm's retaliation canceled out the penalty. I was just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. No, it's like I said, with that new rule with the no fighting, it's stuff like that's going to happen. The retaliation penalties are going to happen, and you got to pick your spots. And probably wasn't the best spot, but I also didn't have a problem with it.
No, that's what he's on that line to do.
Yeah. I didn't have a problem. I had no issue with it. You're right. He's there for that reason, to make sure that these kids don't get pushed around, and I'm pretty sure they can handle it their own. But it's
just be interesting if we see that again.
Oh, I'm sure
late in the second period, he kind of puts that one in the back pocket, gets in his face a little bit, lets him know, and then maybe the next time we play Halifax. And obviously, after playing them in the second round, things are heightened a little bit more. The first time we've played them since they won 4 in a row in the playoffs, so things are a little bit heightened. So, maybe next time we get in that situation, he gets in his face, lets him know, and lays a big hit the next game, right? Yep. Or puts the pocket, is the guy that scores the goal. I don't have a problem with it in the first game against Halifax because you have to set that tone to a point, but also that's a tough time to do that, and it's too bad it wasn't. Like Morvik just dropped. He knew he suckered Trenholm. He had him. Yeah. No, it's gonna happen. Yeah. But they did get their power play late in the game, and I mean, looked as if they had this setup going right, and I think it was just a intercepted pass or whatever it was that had to go back the other way. So Boutin to McPhee. Boutin tried to get to Sumph. It hits McPhee's stick. Yeah. And Schultz gets it up to Cataford. And Boutin almost got it. Like he toe picks and falls, and that allows Cataford to stop, kind of go around him to get the empty netter. Yeah, but, I mean, it's a 2-1 hockey game, and Moncton didn't play their best. Neither team had their best player, but Moncton didn't play their best, and Halifax played an absolute perfect road game. That's basically any other team would probably win that hockey game.
100%. Like that, it was a very, for a team who didn't show up for 50 minutes, they held Halifax to 2 goals, and that's pretty much what you're gonna have to do is hold Halifax, because they were without Dume, they were without Vidicek, so they've got 2 key pieces that were maybe have to watch next time they play against each other, but we will see. I can't go and say my prediction's going to be wrong now, even though that I said it 2 weeks ago. But
I mean, if you look at last season, Dume didn't have a lot of success against us.
No.
So, if you can have number 5 cancel out their number 11 and Boutin play a lot against Catafor, this might be a season. This isn't going to be where we beat them in the first half and they roll us in the second half. This is going to be a season series. It's going to go back and forth all year long. So moving into this week's games, we've got another good test, and that's what I think was good for this team coming off the road. The first game after the road is always the toughest, but you got to play a Halifax team. You got to see where I don't want to say stack up, and it wasn't a measurement game, but you got to see that game where you're going to see what's coming. And Victoriaville is a top 4 consensus preseason top 4 team in the league, so it's going to be another tough
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-2. They're looking for wins. I hope that I can never remember that kid's name. Goalie.
Dag.
Yeah. I hope he's in again because I got to watch him last year. But they got a tough test in Victo, and then they've got St. John on Saturday on the road, and then friend of the show and play-by-play boy Cedric Blodin and his Armada come in on Sunday.
The Zach Wheeler show.
Zach Wheeler show. So you have to think Steinman doesn't play one of the weekend games. He's going to play Victo. You have to think that Welk gets in one of the two.
Welk. Yeah.
You can't roll Steinman out.
Oh man, that was excuse me. Holy.
Oh, that came in through the earphones there. Yeah.
Said ketchup?
Yeah.
Onion?
Do you have Gatorade at the golf course today?
Goalie situation. This is obviously not coming from us. This is not stuff that
everything you read on the internet's not true.
That's it. So there are online reports which indicate that Keegan Warren has been called up. Whether that's permanently or just in case.
Yeah.
So that will be something to follow this week to see if there's who is in fact the backup on Thursday. And
because Warren did back up the first two.
Yep.
And Welk backed up the second two.
Yep. So has there been a change in mindset or direction or whatever you want to call it? We will see. Now, whoever is the backup, I think will play probably one of these games, one of these three games, because you can't play Steinman for all 68. And
no, not anymore.
No, not anymore. And I think logically, maybe the St. John game.
Yeah.
Like it's, do you really want to give them 6 in a row? Or is it every 5 games that you play your backup? Because if you play your backup every 5 games, let's do some, are you smarter than a 5th grader math here?
Some girl math. Play him every 5 games. You're good.
That's 14 starts for your backup during the season.
Not great.
No.
Not great, Bob. Especially when you look at the schedule, which I didn't bring up this time, but you look at the schedule and I think they got 3 and 4 for the rest of the month.
Yeah. So I think you've got to get your backup probably 20. So you've got to start finding some more room there. And,
which I mean, I get he was going these 4 games because he's playing unreal. Like,
yeah. Oh, 100. Yeah. But is it now that there's a loss? Is there a change?
Yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna get, thank God, Moran
because
back.
You've got Victoriaville, St. John, Blainville, Drummondville, Charlottetown, Bathurst. So he's playing Victoriaville and Drummondville, no questions asked. He's playing your top teams.
Yeah.
But then you've got St. John, Blainville, Charlottetown, Bathurst. Like those are your 2 situations to get him in. And I mean, you can see the starts that Steinman's gonna get: Victo, Drummondville, Halifax, Val-d'Or, and Quebec. Well, maybe not Quebec. They're not the hot team they were last year.
No.
But you're set up all month to let your backup play every week. Once every 3 games.
Well, that's it. Why every 3 games? I don't know about every 3 games.
One. Yeah, like every 3 games. Like
if you can get your backup a game every week, I think that's enough, right?
So they got 11 games this month. If your backup plays 4 of those 11, I think you're fine. Start to get 7 of the 11.
Yeah. Because your September.
Like if your backup goes St. John, Bathurst, St. John, and Quebec.
Yeah.
There's your 4.
That's basically anywhere from 20 to 24 starts for your backup.
Yeah.
Which I think is ideal.
Yeah. But we need points from those backups, and that's what's key.
Yeah.
It's all rosy to say he should get 20 starts, but if in the first 6, he hasn't got the team a point.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure this out, and that's where, if quote unquote what's on the boards of Keegan Warren coming up, maybe it's a see which backup. Like we don't go to practices, so we don't know how that's going. And I said throughout the preseason, Welk's going to have to figure it out, and who knows? Maybe they're just bringing him up as insurance. I don't know, but the backup's going to play in one of these 3 games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to.
Put money on it. Yeah. Denis Dwyer, put money on it.
Yeah. Did you see he found never mind, we'll talk after. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see Victo because they're 2-2 right now. They're not going the way they obviously want to go. I don't think they have Warren in the lineup. I don't know who else they're missing.
What's his face? Their Dieppe kid. Cormier? Not Cormier. Gendron? Yeah. Justin Gendron's hurt.
So Darvo's played 3 of the games.
Yeah. I think
3 of 4.
I think we should probably see a dag. This could be, I don't know, we'll see. But no, this will be
it's a perfect test coming right off Halifax.
Oh, yeah.
This will show you what kind of quote unquote moxie this team has.
Frankie I sends a video tribute.
Yes. Make it happen.
Raises jersey to the rafters.
Video tribute.
Video tribute. Standing ovation from the 3,000 fans in attendance.
Yeah. Be nice if when was the last time they had a Thursday game? Did they have those last season?
Student night? Wasn't Thursday's student games?
Oh no, they had.
I thought Thursday was student night.
Yeah, they had a Thursday student night they had one Thursday night game in all of the second half of last season. They had a lot of
too early in the season for promotions, right?
I have not seen a promotional schedule yet. I have not seen a pink.
It's not like the $7 tickets and $7 drinks that the Sea Dogs are having this Saturday night.
They doing it again?
Yeah, $7 drinks this time.
What?
Yeah,
that's not on the Wildcats, so that's on the Avenir Center, unfortunately.
I don't know.
What do we got? Victo.
Who else are we playing?
St. John and Blainville.
St. John and Blainville is right. I don't know anything about Blainville.
So Victoriaville is the first game of their road trip. They go to Moncton, Halifax, and Cape Breton, which is fine. We have a rest. They have a rest. That's what you want. Like you get to see what your team is and how they bounce back, and hopefully it doesn't take them 45 minutes to find their legs. Right? And then St. John, I mean, they're an up and down team. They've been able to have leads, and they just haven't been able to hold on to them against Cape Breton, and that's why,
the Wildcats shouldn't be nervous on Thursday in front of 3,000 fans.
4,100. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's generous. Sunday fun day. Everybody's gonna
against the Armada.
Everybody's gonna skip their Thanksgiving dinner to go to the Avenir Center. First of all, how long has it been since we had a home game on Thanksgiving weekend? Because it always seems like we've been on the road.
I feel like it was 2018, and I feel like it was the Armada.
It just seems like we've been on the road every year for Thanksgiving. For the longest time I can remember. I don't want to look back.
No, I don't either.
But if somebody wants to...
No, Blainville's 3-1, eh?
Yeah.
So...
Right. Well, I want to take this opportunity to fact check myself from last week's show.
Yeah.
There is, in fact, a Starbucks in Sydney.
That is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of having Starbucks, there is a Starbucks there.
So, I don't know. Blainville. It's so early in the season. I don't know anything
tough,
about.
Yeah.
Like, who even is on Blainville? Nick Sheen's not there anymore.
I couldn't. No,
it's Zach Wheeler show.
Yeah.
Who else did they draft this year? Blainville. Man, I'm terrible right now. Yeah, you can tell it's early in the season. We know absolutely nothing about these teams.
Yeah.
This is the Wildcast podcast, not the QMJ Shell podcast.
So I think the Blainville
Xavier Villeneuve.
So I think Blainville in 2018, they had October 6th. If that was Thanksgiving, they played in Moncton on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then they went to Bathurst on the Sunday.
Okay. Xavier Villeneuve, did he make Blainsville?
I don't know.
I was going to say Zachary Morin. No, he didn't make Blainsville.
It's the fun part about previewing the upcoming games. People are like, just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of rookies and a lot of Elliot Italien's on there, Matteo Norbert, Elliot Oganowski, Alex Charbonneau, Theo Lemieux. So they've got a heavily laden rookie roster. Zach Wheeler, you can book his first goal in Moncton.
Easily.
He's only got 1 assist on the year, so
easily
he's going to score his first goal
100%
of the year. Just a tap in beside the net.
Yeah.
Just a nice little tap in. But that's also... Oh, Xavier. Oh, no. It's Xavier Saracen. I thought it was Manic Saracen. That might help attendance on that one. Like, I know it's Thanksgiving
and Zach Wheeler.
But Zach Wheeler and the family and stuff like that, it might give him a little bit of a boost in the attendance way.
3,100.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, it should be a 2 out of 3 weekend.
Mm-hmm. You
figure out which 2 of the 3. 3 out of 3 would be perfect, but it kind of feels like a 2 out of 3 weekend.
3,104 because of Al's pals.
Yeah, Al's pals. All right. I mean, we might as well get to everyone's favorite part of the show, eh?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's get it.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy your house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
All right, Avenir Center. Round of applause. I don't know. What do you call it? What do you call it? Is tap and tip or tip and tap? Tip and tap. That's what it's called. Finally listening to this guy for about the past 3 years, and implemented the tap and tip or tip, I don't know, whatever it's called. T&T, we're gonna call it there. And instead of having to choose your tip or is it type in?
So basically, they had the old POS system, the black ones.
Yeah.
And when the Avenir first started, I could bring my phone and I could get my drink and tap and walk away. No tips. That's fine if you want to have tips. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. You explain it better than I do.
But then they all of a sudden, halfway through the next year, when you went to put the tip in, you had to put your debit card in. Which for me, I carry... My phone's over here. I carry my phone all the time because we're tweeting, we're Instagramming the game for the fans. I don't carry my wallet that often. And if I do, it's in my wife's purse because I don't want to sit on it, among other things that's in her purse. But I don't realize it until I get halfway up there. And then I'm like, now I got to go all the way back, disturb people. If the play's going on, I got to wait. Everywhere else you go in the Avenir Center, when you go to the side beer stands, they had a tap function with the tip for the beer people. Well, lo and behold, my surprise.
Did I ever come to figure...
Quelle
surprise is right. They have got it everywhere now.
Yep.
I was quite impressed. I even said to the bartender, "Oh, this is new." And she's like, "Yeah, we're still getting used to it." I said, "Oh, thank goodness! Yeah. What a more painless, quick process. Just do your thing and get out of there. Good on you. Finally, thank goodness you made that change. And another change you made, thank goodness, is getting rid of that god awful grilled cheese establishment that you had in that building."
Yeah.
And
actually, Layla had the meatball sub.
Yeah. And replaced it with a restaurant named after my body figure, the Big Belly Deli.
Yeah, she had the meatball sub with the kettle chips. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
they also had a Philly steak.
You know what else the new system has that allows you to tip and tap? And this is how far I was willing to go this year. Is I went to Le Dippery, sorry. And
the who?
The Little Dippery by Angie's and that little strip mall, the ice cream place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what?
And also Quiznos, but I knew that they had the tap and tip function. So I went to pay and I grabbed my daughter's phone and I'm like, you're going to film this while I do this. And then if I get to the Avenir Center and they don't have tip and tap, I'm going to tweet them again. Honest to God, I'm surprised we haven't been blocked yet. But anyways, what else though that does is that allows now the 50-50 people to take Visa and MasterCard and cash. They don't take debit yet, which that I don't understand because if you're tapping your Visa, you can tap your debit card, whatever. But at least they're walking around. You don't have to have cash for the people that are walking around because they took the the old systems from the side beer places that had the tap last year. So it is nice in 2023. The multi-million-dollar Avenir Center is technologically advanced.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
And that, sorry for taking over your stick tap there.
Oh, no, it's okay. You explain it better than I do. I would have explained it completely different.
Wildcast Wildcat of the Week is presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa, who from right now till October 7th, so this weekend, you get 15% off all spa services when you book with Sammy. Call the book for your appointment at 506-830-1224 or book with them in person at 1224 Mountain Road. This one's pretty easy. It goes to a player who's averaging a point a game in the first 4 games. He scored his first goal on Friday. Followed up with the only goal on Saturday to give the team some juice. You can see his comfort level on the ice. Smith and Mercier, it's a pretty good line, and he's getting more accustomed to it. Even had a big hit on the half wall. I think in the third period, maybe the second period, had a big hit anyways. But I mean, if he was at 70% in the last preseason game, he looks to be about 85-90. Your Wildcat player of the week is number 18, Caleb Denwellier. That'll do it for the show. Again, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. They have the KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings event. When you purchase any KitchenAid major appliances, you get instant savings. So purchase 3, 300, 4, 400, 5, 500. Alpha's Appliance, 25 Halifax Street, Moncton, 506-858-5111. All the links for all our sponsor are in our YouTube bio. Like we said, Victo's in town tomorrow, Blainville on Sunday. The Zach Wheeler Show is in town on Sunday. Fun day, so get your tickets. Man, you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Yeah, shout out to Turkey Day. No, you're right. Same to you. I know you guys probably do the ham.
We already did it.
Oh, it's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
had
did
it
it
last
with Haley.
weekend. That's right. That's true. Yeah.
But absolutely, we did the ham, mashed potatoes, buns.
Yep.
They did Brussels sprouts. I tried Brussels sprouts. I tried one. Yeah, we're good. And candied carrots is what we had. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling off a sweet potato casserole this weekend with marshmallows on it.
Okay. Can Layla come then?
Well, we'll see.
You know what? Bring leftovers next week.
I might have to if it's 20-pound turkey.
Yeah, you might have leftovers.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.